She is not shy. She is signaling you. You have seen this play out 100 times. She looks twice, drifts into your space, smiles and holds it, fixes her hair when you arrive, laughs louder when you pass, then separates from her friends and waits. Most men miss every green light. They freeze-talk themselves out of it or use a line that kills the moment. Later they blame age, height or luck, and the chance is gone. Here is the shift. Women rarely walk across the room first. They invite. Your job is to notice the cue, approach like a gentleman, and keep tension alive with calm delivery. No chasing, no performance, just steady presence and clean timing. In this video, we will break down 10 hidden signals women send when they want you to come over and exactly what to do with each one. You will learn where to stand, what to say, and how long to hold eye contact. You will see the mistakes that shut doors and the tiny adjustments that open them. We will use simple Stoic rules so you lead without pressure and make her feel safe while still feeling the pull. You will know exactly when to step in next. One signal is so quiet you will start spotting it today, even in places you never noticed before. Let's get into it. Number 1. The look that lasts a second too long. You've probably seen it but didn't realize what just happened. You catch her eyes for a moment, then she looks away. But after a heartbeat, she looks back again, just for 1 second too long. That's the signal. That's the first silent invitation. Women don't lock eyes twice by accident. That second glance is her way of saying, "I see you now. What are you going to do about it?" Here's what most men do. They freeze. They start questioning themselves. Was she just being polite? Did I imagine it? And while they're thinking, the moment fades. That tiny window of electricity closes, and she moves on. See, attraction doesn't live in grand gestures. It lives in milliseconds of eye contact, in the unspoken tension between awareness and action. Take David, a 46-year-old divorced man from Chicago. He was out at a jazz bar one night, just relaxing after work. Across the room, a woman mid-30s, stylish, confident, glanced his way. He looked back. Their eyes met. She looked down at her drink, then up again, holding the gaze for a split second, longer this time. David smiled slightly, nothing forced. Within minutes, she made her way closer, asking about the band. The connection happened naturally without a single cheesy line. Why? Because he didn't break the spell. That's the essence of this first signal. Women are experts at communicating without words. That prolonged glance is her test to see if you can stay centered under the weight of her attention. When you look back calmly without flinching or overdoing it, you tell her something powerful. You're comfortable with desire. Most men panic or look away too fast. But when you hold that gaze steady, unhurried, you separate yourself instantly. The Stoics had a line for this. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Eye contact is where that mastery begins. It's not about staring her down. It's about being so grounded in your own presence that you don't need to chase or explain. You're simply there, unshaken, confident in silence. Think about it like this. That look she gives you is a spark. You can either let it die in the dark, or you can feed it just enough to let the flame grow. When she glances back, don't smirk, don't overthink. Just meet her eyes, hold for one breath, and let your expression say, "I see you too." Then look away first, slowly. You've now shifted the balance. She's intrigued. You didn't flinch, and you didn't chase. You passed her test. So next time you feel that familiar pull, that extra second that lingers, don't dismiss it as coincidence. It's deliberate. Women rarely gamble attention on men who don't intrigue them. Recognize the signal, stay composed, and respond with quiet certainty. Now, before we move on, I want you to think about how many times this has already happened to you without you realizing it. Those small glances you brushed off, they were openings. Drop your thoughts in the comments with something short but certain. I've seen this. And don't go anywhere. What happens after that second look is far more revealing, and it's the point where most men either create attraction or kill it completely. Stay with me. Number 2. The way she moves into your orbit. Sometimes attraction doesn't start with words or even looks. It starts with movement. You're standing somewhere, maybe at a cafe, a bookstore, or waiting for your drink at the bar, and she suddenly appears nearby. Not too close, just within reach. Maybe she accidentally ends up next to you twice in the same aisle, or finds a reason to pass by your side when the whole room is open. That's not random. That's deliberate proximity. She's entering your orbit. You see, women rarely approach directly. Their instinct tells them to create opportunities for you to make the move. So instead of walking up and saying hello, they draw closer, subtly testing, if you'll notice, and respond without being needy. It's quiet psychology at play. In that moment, what matters most isn't what you say, it's what your presence communicates. The way you stand, the calmness in your energy, the lack of nervous shifting, all of that, tells her whether she just approached a man or a boy still searching for approval. If you turn into conversation mode too quickly, you break the rhythm. The right move, stay grounded. Let the silence work for you first. There's a Stoic principle that fits perfectly here. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Be like the rock against which the waves break. It stands firm and tames the fury of the water around it." That's exactly what you should embody when a woman enters your space. You don't rush, you don't crumble, you hold steady. The more relaxed you are, the more drawn she becomes. Because in a world of noise, stillness is magnetic. When she moves into your orbit, what she's really doing is studying your composure. She's feeling the atmosphere you create. Are you centered or scattered? Do you carry quiet authority, or do you react to every external cue? A Stoic man understands that attention isn't permission to chase, it's a chance to observe. So how do you respond when this happens? Subtle acknowledgement. You don't have to speak first. Just be aware, present, and let her sense that awareness. If the eye contact follows naturally, you've confirmed her move. If not, no loss, because a man who's sure of himself never grasps at opportunities. He lets them come, and they do. This behavior, her stepping closer, mirroring your direction, or lingering near your space, is instinctive. It's her way of testing the energy. It's soft pursuit disguised as coincidence. But most men kill it by overreacting, overanalyzing, or trying too hard. The art is in doing less but meaning more. When you hold your frame, she feels it. Think of it this way, every woman has a radius of comfort. When she deliberately brings you into that radius, it's an invitation wrapped in subtlety. You don't need to chase, you just need to remain unmoved physically and emotionally. Confidence that doesn't demand attention always earns it. Now here's something most men miss. This signal usually happens before she ever speaks to you. It's the prelude, the silent call. Once you learn to notice it, you'll see it everywhere, in lines at restaurants, in casual settings. If you've ever felt a woman slowly drift closer for no clear reason, drop it in the comments and say, "I've felt this," and stay with me, because the next signal goes even deeper. It's something women do without realizing, but once you understand it, you'll never misread attraction again. Don't go anywhere. Number 3. The touch she pretends didn't happen. There's a moment that every man has experienced, but few truly understand. It's that light, fleeting touch, her hand brushing against your arm, her shoulder grazing yours as she laughs, or the way she leans close just enough for contact, then pulls back like it meant nothing. She'll pretend it was casual, but it wasn't. That touch was a signal, a test, an invitation, and a glimpse into what she's feeling beneath the surface. Let's make this real. Picture this, Mark. A 52-year-old architect from Austin was having dinner with friends at a rooftop restaurant. Across the table sat Julia, 39, a marketing director he'd met just once before. As the night went on, she reached for her glass, her fingertips brushing against his hand, just enough for a spark, just enough to be noticed. She didn't pull away fast. She smiled, then kept talking like nothing happened. That small moment changed the energy instantly. See, women rarely touch a man by accident. Every subtle contact carries intention. It's her way of testing your composure to see if you can hold your frame when physical tension enters the room. When you stay calm, when you don't flinch or turn it into a big deal, you pass the test. You show that you're comfortable in your own skin, the kind of man who doesn't mistake touch for permission but also doesn't shrink from it. That's what separates the grounded man from the restless one. The grounded man understands that attraction isn't about reacting, it's about maintaining presence. A woman feels your steadiness through how you handle those silent moments of closeness. If you tense up, apologize, or pull away, she feels your uncertainty. But if you stay relaxed, if your energy stays slow and steady, it deepens her curiosity. You're not shocked by her attention, you're at ease with it. This is why Stoic principles apply so strongly here. Seneca once said, "The greatest power is to be found in self-possession." That's what this is. You're not trying to control her, you're mastering yourself. You don't interpret her touch as a green light, nor do you act blind to it. You simply allow it to exist. You let her feel your calm, not your hunger. That's what women respond to the absence of need. Here's the secret. Most men never learn. When a woman touches you like that, she's not looking for a reaction, she's looking for confirmation. She wants to know if the connection she feels is real or if she's the only one sensing it. If your energy stays steady, she gets her answer and it pulls her in deeper. Remember, attraction is rarely loud. It's found in those soft, almost invisible exchanges, the ones that feel accidental but aren't. That innocent touch, it's her revealing interest, without exposing vulnerability. It's a whisper that says, "I trust you to notice, but not to rush." So next time that moment happens, when she brushes past, leans closer, or lets her hand linger, pay attention. Not to the motion, but to the message. Keep your body language open, your breathing even, and your eyes soft. You don't need to say a thing. Now think about it. How many times has this already happened to you, but you missed the signal because you overthought it or ignored it completely? If you've ever felt that quiet electric contact, that touch that said more than words, write in the comments, "I've felt this." And stay right here. The next signal is even more dangerous because it hides in plain sight, and most men misread it every single time. Don't go anywhere. Number 4. The laugh that's meant for you. You've heard it before, that sudden laugh that cuts through the noise of the room. It's not the joke that's funny, it's you. Or rather, it's your presence that shifted the tone. When a woman laughs louder, longer, or more often when you're near, it's not random, it's a signal. A laugh, when used like this, isn't just sound, it's attraction disguised as playfulness. Here's how it works. Laughter lowers tension. It gives her a reason to stay in your orbit without being obvious. When she laughs, especially at things that aren't even that funny, she's building a bridge. She's saying, "I feel safe here." Women don't open up to men they don't feel safe around. But when they do, their laughter becomes softer, more genuine, and directed at you even when the conversation isn't. Now, most men miss this because they're listening for logic instead of tone. They think, "I didn't even say anything funny." Exactly. That's the point. The laugh wasn't about humor, it was about chemistry. There's a subtle pattern here you need to notice. When she starts mirroring your energy, your pace, your tone, your rhythm, and then adds laughter to the mix, she's not just enjoying herself, she's aligning with you emotionally. That's how attraction grows quietly, through sync, not strategy. In Stoicism, Marcus Aurelius once said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." When you carry calm confidence, your presence shifts the emotional tone around you. People mirror that energy. A woman feels it first, and her laugh becomes an echo of your composure. The calmer you are, the more she relaxes. The more she relaxes, the more she expresses. That's the natural chain reaction. Now, here's what separates grounded men from the rest. A grounded man doesn't perform to earn her laughter. He doesn't chase the moment or force humor to keep her attention. He simply observes. When she laughs, he allows it without turning it into a reward or an ego boost. His steadiness tells her one thing loud and clear: you don't need her reaction to validate your worth. That's what makes her laugh more. You see, laughter is connection, but it's also a test. She's watching how you respond. Do you tense up? Do you instantly make it about yourself? Or do you stay effortlessly composed, a man who can enjoy lightness without losing his grounding? The right answer is silence with a slight smile. You don't need to fill every pause. Let her energy fill the space. That's when attraction deepens, when she feels the tension of comfort and curiosity at the same time. And here's something important. Women remember how you make them feel, not what you say. If she's laughing more around you, that's the reflection of how she feels in your presence. You've shifted her internal state. If you want to take this to a deeper level, to master not just attraction, but the emotional composure that creates it, join our members circle. Inside, we go beyond these signals. You'll learn the Stoic mindset that keeps you calm under pressure, magnetic without effort, and confident no matter who's across from you. And if you've ever noticed a woman's laugh change when you enter the room, drop a simple comment: "I've seen this." Because once you start noticing, you'll realize laughter isn't random. It's the most honest form of interest there is. Now stay close. The next signal is quieter, but far more revealing. Don't go anywhere. Number 5. The space she creates for you. Most men think attraction is all about closing distance, leaning in, getting closer, moving fast. But the truth is, women create space when they're interested. Not emotional distance, but physical opportunity. That small pocket between her and the crowd, the empty chair next to her, the way she subtly drifts away from her group. It's not coincidence, it's invitation. Let me show you what this looks like in real life. Tom, a 48-year-old gym owner from Denver, was at a charity event. Music, small talk, plenty of people mingling. Across the room, he noticed a woman, mid-30s, blonde, poised, but relaxed. She was laughing with her friends, but then something shifted. She stepped back casually, just enough to stand a few feet apart from her group. She looked around once, then let her gaze wander. Tom didn't rush. He held his drink, stayed steady, and after a minute walked over, not directly at her, but toward the same table she was near. She smiled, said, "Hey," and conversation started like it had been waiting to happen. That's what I mean by space. It's not about her moving closer, it's about her making room for you. She's giving you a safe entry point without risking rejection. Most men miss it because they're too focused on overt signals, words, gestures, smiles. But attraction is rarely that loud. It's quiet, strategic, and ancient. When a woman wants you to approach, she'll instinctively position herself where approach feels natural. Maybe she steps aside from her friends. Maybe she turns her body slightly toward you, giving you an open angle. These are subconscious signals of readiness. She's making the environment comfortable for you to lead. And here's what separates confident men from uncertain ones: awareness. The confident man doesn't force interaction. He reads energy, adjusts, and moves with calm intention. He doesn't rush to fill the space. He respects it. Because in that small pocket of air between you and her, something powerful is happening: anticipation. A Stoic would call this the art of restraint. Epictetus said, "If you wish to be in control, desire nothing that depends on others." That applies perfectly here. You're not trying to make her react. You're reading what already is. You're detached but aware, fully present but not needy. That balance is rare, and women feel it instantly. You might wonder, but what if I misread it? Here's the truth. Even if you do, calm confidence never looks wrong. You're not invading, you're exploring. You approach slowly with purpose, using your tone, posture, and silence to say, "I see the space you made, and I'm meeting you halfway." That's what real masculine energy feels like, grounded leadership without pressure. When Tom approached that woman at the event, she later admitted something interesting. "I noticed you waiting. You didn't rush. That made me feel safe." Read that again, safe. That's the key word. So next time you see a woman create that small opening, a quiet gap, a subtle distance, recognize it. It's not about claiming space. It's about respecting what's already been offered. Now take a second to think, how many times has this happened before and you told yourself it was just coincidence? If you've ever felt that quiet pull, that small deliberate opening, write in the comments, "I've seen this," and stay right here. The next signal is even more subtle. It's not what she does, but why she does it. Miss it and you'll miss everything else. Don't go anywhere. Number 6. The small fixes that say everything. You've seen it 100 times. She touches her hair, adjusts her neckline, checks her reflection in the glass, or smooths her dress when you walk by. Most men think it's nothing, just a random gesture. But those small fixes, they're not random at all. They're signals, subtle, instinctive ways women display attraction without ever saying a word. Here's what's really happening beneath the surface. When a woman is drawn to you even slightly, her body language shifts. She becomes more aware of her appearance, but not because she's vain. It's biological. Attraction triggers self-presentation. Her subconscious mind tells her, "He's watching. Be your best." That's why she'll fix her hair that doesn't need fixing or reapply lipstick that hasn't faded. Now here's where most men go wrong. They either ignore it completely or overreact. The grounded man does neither. He notices quietly without changing his energy. He doesn't comment. He doesn't smirk. He simply registers it as confirmation, a subtle signal that he's made an impression. Because when you remain calm, she feels that you're not new to female attention. You're comfortable with it. And that calm is magnetic. This is where Stoic discipline separates you from the average man. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Let your actions be guided by reason, not by the stirrings of the flesh." In this context, it means awareness without impulse. You see the sign, but you don't lose your balance. You recognize her attraction, but you don't chase it. That's how you keep the frame, and that's what keeps her intrigued. A woman's small fixes are her quiet confessions. When she feels drawn to your presence, she starts preparing for your approval without realizing she's doing it. Adjusting jewelry, aligning posture, wetting her lips, these are ancient courtship signals. They tell you she's thinking about how she looks to you. The key is to meet it with the same kind of quiet confidence. Think of it as a dance where your stillness does the talking. The calmer you are, the more she fills the silence with movement. Those small adjustments, those gestures that betray what words won't. You don't need to comment on them. In fact, doing so often kills the tension. Your composure creates contrast, her restlessness against your control. That's what draws her in deeper. And remember, this signal often appears when she's just outside your reach, maybe in a group across a table or mid-conversation. She's not necessarily performing for you directly. She's testing if you're paying attention. So don't stare. Observe. Let her sense your awareness without needing to announce it. Here's the Stoic mindset you should apply. Observe everything. React to nothing. When you embody that, you become the calm center in her chaos, the man whose stillness makes her more expressive. There's a simple truth in psychology. People amplify what's noticed, but not acknowledged. When she realizes you caught her fixing herself, but you stay poised and say nothing, it creates tension. She wonders what you're thinking. That curiosity is the start of fascination. So next time you see her brushing her hair, straightening her blouse, or adjusting her posture when you appear, recognize it for what it is. She's signaling interest softly. The moment you stay composed, you become the man who understands what most men never see. Now think back. How many times have you seen these subtle moves and dismissed them as random? If you've noticed this before, drop a quick line in the comments, "I've seen this." And don't go anywhere. The next signal is even more delicate, something so subtle that if you blink, you'll miss it. Stay with me. Number 7. The smile that invites you in. Every man knows what a smile looks like, but only a few truly see it. The difference between a polite smile and an inviting one is subtle, but once you learn to recognize it, you'll never miss it again. Because that one small curve of her lips can be the clearest, most powerful sign she's giving you the green light. Picture this. James, a five-year-old contractor from Florida, was standing in line at a coffee shop early one morning. Across from him, a woman mid-40s, confident, stylish, met his eyes as they both reached for napkins. She smiled. Not a tight, quick good morning smile. This one lingered soft and open. She didn't look away immediately. She held it just long enough to see if he'd return it. James, calm and grounded, smiled back a slow, steady grin and held his gaze for a heartbeat. Within moments, she started a conversation about the weather. 10 minutes later, they were sitting down together, still talking, still smiling. That's the difference. The inviting smile is never rushed. It's full of warmth and curiosity, not politeness. It's meant for you, not for social courtesy. It's her way of signaling comfort, readiness, and a soft challenge. Are you man enough to respond without flinching? You see, women don't smile like that at random. They use it strategically as an opening, especially with men they find intriguing but hard to read. The smile breaks the ice without words. But here's the key: she doesn't want you to rush in. She wants you to meet her energy, slow, calm, confident. Most men ruin it by reacting too fast, grinning widely, complimenting her, or talking too much. The mystery dies. What she wanted was your awareness, not your excitement. A confident man receives that smile, mirrors it subtly, and lets silence breathe. That pause, that micro moment of tension, is what makes her pulse quicken. In Stoic philosophy, this connects perfectly to the idea of temperance, the art of self-control, even when emotion stirs inside you. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react that matters." The inviting smile is your test. You can either react impulsively, or you can respond with calm recognition. One earns her curiosity, the other kills it. When she smiles like that, she's revealing trust. She's showing softness in a world that often forces her to be guarded. And how you handle that softness tells her everything about the kind of man you are. If you stay grounded, not overly serious, not overly eager, you become the safe center she can lean into. The psychology behind this is simple but deep. A smile releases dopamine, the feel-good hormone. And when that happens in your presence, her brain links that feeling to you. That's how connection begins. Not through pickup lines or grand gestures, but through calm presence and steady energy. So next time you see that kind of smile, one that lingers, softens the eyes and feels personal, don't overthink it. Let your body language answer for you. A slow smile, a relaxed nod, eye contact that says, "I see you too." Then move naturally. That's all it takes. And if you've ever felt that quiet invitation, that one smile that felt like it stopped time for a second, drop a quick line in the comments, "I've felt this." Now don't go anywhere. The next signal isn't something she does for you, it's something she does around you. And once you understand it, you'll see exactly how attraction deepens in silence. Stay with me. Number 8. The questions hidden in her silence. Sometimes the most revealing thing a woman can say is nothing at all. Her silence, that pause in conversation, that long moment of eye contact, that subtle stillness, isn't emptiness. It's full of meaning. It's her way of asking questions without exposing vulnerability. And if you're the kind of man who knows how to read it, you'll understand exactly what she's thinking. See, when a woman goes quiet around you, most men panic. They think they said something wrong, or they rush to fill the space with words. But the truth is, silence is one of her most powerful tools. When she's attracted, she'll often use it to observe, to study your reaction. She's not asking with words, but with presence. Are you comfortable here? Can you hold the space without needing control? Do you feel at ease with yourself when things go quiet? The answer she's looking for isn't verbal, it's in your body language. The man who fidgets, checks his phone, or overtalks shows insecurity. The man who stays relaxed, maintains soft eye contact, and lets the quiet breathe, that's the one who passes her test. Because that calmness communicates something she can't resist: certainty. In Stoic philosophy, this idea aligns with the power of inner peace. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Nowhere you can go is more peaceful than your own soul." That's exactly what she's sensing. She wants to feel your peace, that stillness that doesn't depend on her laughter, her approval, or her validation. The Stoics believed true strength was emotional independence, and silence is where it's revealed. A woman's silence often hides curiosity. It's her way of asking, "Who are you really?" She might not speak it, but she's watching how your energy shifts in stillness. Do you lean forward and chase her attention? Or do you sit back, giving her the freedom to lean in instead? That dynamic, that pull between stillness and curiosity, is what makes her feel drawn in without understanding why. Here's something most men don't realize. When she stops talking, it's not rejection, it's reflection. She's processing how she feels around you. That's when your composure matters most. The quiet is the moment where she either feels tension or comfort. If your presence feels calm and grounded, she'll relax. If your energy feels restless or performative, she'll withdraw. So what should you do in those moments? Nothing. Breathe. Let the silence work. Hold eye contact softly. Let her fill it when she's ready. The more comfortable you are in that stillness, the more she'll associate that calm with safety. That's when connection moves beyond attraction into something instinctual. There's an old Stoic exercise called negative visualization, where you imagine losing what you desire to remind yourself that your peace can't depend on it. Apply that here. Don't attach your worth to her attention. Detachment amplifies attraction. When you stop needing her reaction, you become the man she can't stop thinking about. So next time you're in conversation and things go quiet, don't flinch, don't rush. That's not awkwardness, that's interest. That's her trying to see if your energy is real. And if you've ever noticed that kind of silence, that unspoken moment charged with tension, drop a quick line in the comments. "I've felt this." Don't go anywhere. Because the next signal is the one most men completely miss, and it's the reason they fail to connect even when everything else is going right. Stay with me. Number 9. The test you don't realize you're taking. Every man who's been around women long enough has taken this test, the one he never knew he was in. It's subtle, psychological, and emotional all at once. Women do it instinctively, not maliciously, but as a way to measure the man in front of them. It's how they find out whether you're steady or reactive, confident or fragile, real or pretending. Take Michael, for example, 49 years old, divorced a successful financial advisor from Denver. He met Rachel, a 42-year-old fitness instructor, at a friend's dinner party. They clicked instantly, laughter teasing that easy kind of chemistry. But as they talked, Rachel started doing something that threw him off. She'd interrupt mid-sentence, change topics suddenly, even make light jokes that bordered on disrespectful. Michael, being self-aware but calm, didn't flinch. He laughed it off, redirected the conversation, and never lost his composure. Later that night, she admitted, "I wanted to see what would happen if I pushed you a little." That's the test. She wasn't trying to start a fight. She wanted to feel if his frame was solid enough to hold under pressure. See, women test men for emotional stability, not dominance. A test like that isn't an attack, it's curiosity. It's her subconscious saying, "Are you as grounded as you seem, or will you crumble the second I stop being sweet?" And this is where most men fail. They take it personally. They defend, argue, or pull away. But that reaction only confirms what she fears, that your confidence is an act. The man who passes the test, he stays unshaken. He's not cold or arrogant, he's centered. Like a mountain, unmoved by weather. This idea runs deep in Stoic philosophy. Seneca wrote, "Fire tests, gold adversity tests men." A woman's test isn't adversity, but it serves the same purpose. It reveals what kind of man you are under subtle pressure. When you stay calm, you communicate more than words ever could that you're the kind of man she can trust emotionally, because you're not ruled by emotion. Now here's the secret that most men never learn. When she tests you, she's not trying to disqualify you. She's trying to feel safe with you. She's drawn to your power but wants to know it's stable. She's asking silently, "If I get emotional, will you still stand firm? If life gets messy, will you lose your grip?" So how do you handle these moments? Like Michael did, with composure and warmth. Don't fight her energy. Redirect it. Keep your tone steady, your body relaxed, and your humor sharp. A calm smile disarms more than an argument ever will. Because here's the truth. A woman doesn't fall for the man who wins the argument. She falls for the man who never needed to have one. This kind of poise doesn't come from pretending to be stoic. It comes from being stoic, from understanding that her behavior is a reflection of curiosity, not disrespect. You are not there to react. You are there to observe. When a man can meet those small tests with composure, something changes in her eyes. Respect, trust, desire. That's when she knows this isn't a man she can control. This is a man she can admire. So ask yourself, how do you handle these moments when they happen to you? If you've ever recognized a woman testing your composure, drop it in the comments. I passed the test. And stay with me, because the next part is something even most confident men fail to notice. It's the final unspoken signal that tells you exactly when she's inviting you to make a move. Don't go anywhere. Number 10. The moment you finally take the lead. There's always a moment, subtle, quiet, but unmistakable, when the dynamic shifts. When the uncertainty dissolves, the air thickens, and she waits to see what you do next. That's the moment you take the lead, not by force, not by ego, but through calm certainty, the kind of masculine energy that makes her feel both safe and desired. You see, attraction has a rhythm. For a while she's been giving you signals, the lingering look, the gentle touch, the silence, the tests. But at some point it stops being about reading her signs and starts being about what you'll do with them. This is where most men freeze. They overthink. They hesitate. They wonder, is now the right time? And by the time they decide, the energy has already faded. Leading doesn't mean dominating. It means moving with purpose. It means you've paid attention long enough to feel the moment rather than analyze it. Women feel energy long before words. When she's drawn in, her body tells you, her tone softens, her posture opens her eyes. Hold yours longer. That's the moment when silence stops being tension and becomes invitation. A man who understands female psychology knows that hesitation kills attraction faster than rejection. When you hesitate, she feels uncertainty, and uncertainty is the opposite of desire. But when you act calmly, confidently, she feels the energy shift. She relaxes. Her body language changes. You've taken the lead without ever needing to say, "I'm in control." Now here's the truth that's often misunderstood. Leading isn't about getting what you want. It's about guiding the energy. Maybe that means holding her gaze a little longer. Maybe it means moving closer, speaking lower, changing the tone of the interaction from casual to intentional. The lead is an emotional transition, not a physical one. It's when your presence says everything without a word. In Stoic philosophy, this connects perfectly with the concept of logos, reason, guiding passion. The Stoics taught that emotion, when mastered, becomes power. When you lead, it's not from impulse, it's from clarity. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." If your mind is calm, your energy reflects that calm, and she feels it instantly. This is what women mean when they talk about masculine energy. It's not aggression, it's direction. It's knowing what you want and moving toward it with quiet confidence. And when you embody that, you don't have to ask for her trust, she gives it willingly. Think of it like a dance. The woman doesn't follow because she's weaker, she follows because she wants to. Because the man she's with leads in a way that feels safe, natural, and deeply magnetic. That's what makes her lean in. That's what makes her surrender to the moment without even realizing she's doing it. And this applies beyond dating. In every part of life, business, relationships, family, the ability to lead calmly under pressure sets you apart. Because leadership is not about control, it's about certainty. It's about being unmoved by chaos, unshaken by doubt. When you finally take the lead, something profound happens. The guessing game ends. She stops testing, stops waiting, and starts feeling. You've given her what she didn't know. She was craving the comfort of a man who decides. So when that moment comes, when her body language softens, when her silence feels full of anticipation, stop thinking, stop hesitating. Just step forward. Speak with intention. Move with calm. Because that's the moment she's been waiting for. Not for you to ask, but for you to lead. And when you do, everything changes. That's the end of the test. That's where connection becomes chemistry. And that's when she finally sees you not as another man, but as the man. Throughout this video, you've just discovered what most men never see: the quiet signals, the hidden cues, the unspoken language women use when they secretly want you to approach. You've learned how to read her eyes, her movements, her silence, and most importantly, how to respond with calm confidence instead of doubt or hesitation. Every one of these signs is an invitation not for you to chase, but to lead. Because true masculine energy isn't about trying harder, it's about understanding deeper. When you stay grounded, aware, and intentional, you stop playing the game and start mastering it. If you've made it this far, you're already ahead of 99% of men. And if you're ready to go deeper to master the art of presence, attraction, and emotional control, consider becoming a member. Inside, you'll find exclusive content breakdowns and Stoic-based strategies to help you build unshakable confidence and control in every part of your life. Make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next video. Every week, we explore the deeper layers of attraction, psychology, and self-mastery. Thanks for watching. Stay grounded, stay sharp, and I'll see you in the next one.